All right, to Europe. Fresh off the disappointment of MLS Cup defeat, Paxten Aaronson is set to move on from Philadelphia. Sources confirming to ESPN that Aaronson will head to Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga for a reported fee of $4 million plus add-ons. He's 19 years old and, of course, the brother of Brenden Aaronson, who plays at Leeds, also an ex-Philadelphia Union man. Aaronson played 30 minutes on Saturday. That includes extra time. But Herc, before that, he'd made only 2 starts all season. Is he ready to leave Philly and find success in the Bundesliga?
I am never going to argue for a player staying in Major League Soccer if he can go to Europe, especially at an early age. Go.
Even if it's a Pepe situation.
I don't
Even
care.
with the hindsight of Pepe.
Go. I don't care.
Go.
Because it's development. You got better chances of developing over there, especially in a setup like Eintracht Frankfurt. He's 19 years old. He was voted the best player in the U20s here in CONCACAF. He's got a very bright future ahead of him, but unless he gets himself out of a comfort zone of living at home, of being with his friends and family, of playing in an academy setup and then going to the first team and being somewhere where you're very comfortable in, and then having to literally fight for yourself, literally having to go to training sessions with the knife in between the teeth, and then fight for everything you do to earn it. That's the way you get better. The way his brother did. His brother didn't necessarily dominate Major League Soccer either when he was playing. And we've heard from Brenden Aaronson, his own brother, Paxten has a higher ceiling. I would love for him to go and test himself. I don't advocate for players to stay here. There's levels for everyone. But if you're good enough to be scouted, if you're good enough for them to want you and pay $4 million for you, that tells me that he's good enough to be there and fight for his spot and hopefully make the most of it.
I'm reminded, Herc, of the Greg Berhalter comments, right? When he talked about guys leaving MLS before they were ready. And kind of the point that he made was, you got to be dominating at whatever level you're at before you look to make the move. I don't think we can look at these stats and in any way say that Paxten Aaronson was dominating. There are some red flags here for me. The biggest, Herc, is level. Because you mentioned Brenden Aaronson. He made an intermediary like jump, right? He didn't go straight from MLS to Bundesliga or MLS to Premier League. He goes to Austria. If this was an Austrian team, if this was a Dutch team, I'd feel a lot better. This is not just a team, Herc, in a top 5 league. This is a top 5 team in a top 5 league that plays for major trophies. It's going to be tough for Aaronson to get playing time, right? Wasn't there maybe a better spot for him to land? Isn't this a little bit too big, too soon, too much, too soon?
What if it's the only spot for him to land? What if it's the only...
You just mentioned all that he did at the youth national team level, all the success he had with the U20s. If there was interest from Eintracht Frankfurt...
CONCACAF.
If there's interest
undervalue Paxten Aaronson.
But if there's interest from Frankfurt, surely, Herc, there's interest from other places.
We don't know. But you can't just say you need to dominate. Dominance over development is ridiculous.
Fine. If you say dominate is too much, but I mean, look at these numbers: 415 minutes this season, 1 goal, 0 assists.
What were the numbers like last season when he was banging them in?
3 goals in 591 minutes, so the productivity is actually going down. Doesn't that worry you?
He was at a U20 tournament. There was times where he wasn't even with the Union, and the Union were flying high. The Union had 3 players in the front line that hit double-digit goals, and you want a 19-year-old kid to displace one of them? I mean, it is what it is for a very good academy system, for a very good developmental system. But I'm sure he had a support system. He had Jim Curtin in his ear saying, you're ready, you're not ready. I'm sure he had his family around him. I'm sure he had whoever the case may be. But the argument of staying in Major League Soccer and you will be a better footballer for it, I don't buy it. Over Europe, I don't buy it.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.